Hey guys, welcome back to some of the Dolphins podcast. I'm a Forgotten Fins fan here, and so today I wanted to talk to you guys about spicy Tua or salty Tua is what some people like to call him, and that kind of situation. And I was also going to talk to you guys about the Johnathan Taylor stuff. So first of all, I wish I could pop up a video here. I'm not that creative yet. I'm just trying to get to the vibe of being more of a podcast, and because I know Doug and all them, they'll like pop up a screen and stuff like that. If I start getting more into this, I'll do that kind of stuff. But for right now, I'm just gonna. I'm assuming you saw the video. If not, go look it up. It's about Ryan Clark and all that stuff, which I'm sure you heard it. It's been a pretty big deal. So I kind of feel about the whole situation that like you can tell Tua didn't know, because at first he got told it, he looked kind of like, and then he threw a little sarcasm, at him like, oh yeah, he's like, well he must know me better than myself, and you could kind of see the anger over him talking get more and more angry as he go, because then he's like, oh, I'm Samoan, we're prideful people. And I'm gonna be honest, man, like it's just unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, if he's dropping 30 touchdowns, if he stays healthy, I'm assuming that's at least the lowest he'll get, or takes us to the playoffs. What does it matter his weight at the end of the day? Big Ben was called Big Ben for a reason, and he took the fucking Steelers to the playoffs all the time, like many times, and he went to the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So, and he was big almost his entire career. So I don't really understand why it matters. And then people are getting in on him about it. It's, dude, have you seen that dude's like legs? And you can see like he's not gonna walk around shirtless, bro. But he shouldn't have to. Just like let the man be. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? It's like once his whole career, it's been, he can't throw far enough. He can't do this, can't do that. And by the way, I am not a Tua non or whatever the F and H those people are called. I'm not. When we drafted Tua, I was in the middle. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I'm not a big college watcher until the draft. So I was not bouncing off the walls. I think I wanted someone else. I wasn't even a quarterback. But we got Tua. And so I went, all right, I'm going to give this kid a chance. And every time he's had the opportunity to show up, he shows up. Every single time. And once the arm thing last year got kind of put to rest, he still gets crap. But, every quarterback underthrows. I mean, that's outrageous to assume that quarterbacks are just perfect all the time. That's quite ridiculous. People have bad days and people have good days, obviously. So, and I think in the NFL is if you can keep it up. That's what the one thing that Tua does. Even after that interception, yes, that was hard to watch. 100%. I know. I felt it just like everyone. Like, I know some people were thinking it was funny because just of all this attention it brings when he does stuff like that. But then he goes around, acted like nothing happened, and drove him down the field to score a touchdown. And that's what you need more, because you can have someone be playing off. I feel like that's where Herbert comes in, and he's kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like, Herbert just slings it, man. Great quarterback, great arm, great everything, man. But as soon as he either gets hit constantly or gets thrown off or throws an interception, he has a really hard time coming back from it, and then he kind of lets that pressure kind of crumble him. Outside of that, though, Herbert's great. But he just can't. His clutch moments aren't as big as you'd want them, because he does amazing things and he gets, keeps them in the game, keeps them up there, and then just when he needs to make that one throw, he throws an interception. It's very Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the same way. He makes all great throws and does all this stuff, but as soon as you rattle him a little bit, dude's done. Sorry, I ranted off a little bit. So, but the Tua stuff, when he started getting into this, I'm from a proud people. I was like, oh, he's getting mad, and then he says, don't mess with me, kind of stuff. He was even like, that was kind of him throwing threats back. You know what I mean? Like, it was like pretty rough. I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, that's probably the saltiest I've seen, because he usually doesn't get mad. He'll make a sarcastic comment and be like he was, where he's kind of like, oh. like, oh, whatever, dude, you don't know me, like, just watch, or, stuff like that. That's how Tua usually is. He's more of a I'll show you, not talk to you kind of guy. And then I knew he was really done when he said that keep my name out of your mouth stuff, because I think at that, it's like you could just see him just rolling bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, you just see him getting more mad, like frustrated, just like, screw that guy. You know what I mean? Like, and I liked Ryan Clark as a player. As an analyst, not as much, man. He just says whatever. And to be honest, you shouldn't bash anyone's weight. Like kind of like when Tua was talking about, also he brought up in the thing, is that he doesn't want to be this bulky. And it's not fat. It's just he's big. That's a muscle build. You have to be bigger to build muscle. That's just the way it is. And he's not fat, bro. That dude's probably like 6% fat, if not 3% fat. A lot of these guys. But one way to prove that is you look at like all the offensive linemen. Look at all of them. They're so big, and you think, oh man, they're just fat guys. But then they retire. Joe Thomas is a great example. That fool lost like 150 pounds. Like, all these linemen that retire and like they'll lose all that weight, a lot of them. And then a lot of the smaller guys will gain weight because they didn't have to be as big. They had to be skinny in their time of play, and linemen have to be big. They have to eat all those calories. They have to be there for it, So, like, Tua doesn't want to be that big, but he has to. He knows that he needs to put on some weight to be able to take hits, to be able to stand in the pocket and not, kind of fold and all that stuff. So, but yeah, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And I saw it, and I know everyone kind of was getting their opinion about it, and just let the dude play. It shouldn't matter. If he can be, he's not overweight, but not even a little bit. But if he was overweight and he's over there slinging it and dropping dimes and throwing touchdowns and doing his job and it's not affecting him, who cares? I feel like quarterbacks can kind of be like the pitcher. You know what I mean? They don't have to be super skinny. They can be a little bulkier. I mean, that's just, like a lot of like back in the day, it was more because not as many quarterbacks ran as much as today. But so I feel like today maybe they like to be a little more skinny because they want to be able to, take off when they need to. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to get into real quick is the Johnathan Taylor trade talks, okay? Because everyone's freaking out. This is Dalvin Cook, but luckily this time we don't have 5 days to make a decision. No, we have 5 days to make a decision. We know that on Tuesday, that is when it's done. Like they're saying that if he's not traded by Tuesday, he's not going anywhere. He's just gonna probably sit and pull a Le'Veon Bell, but that hasn't proven well for Peyton Hill as Le'Veon Bell. A lot of running backs do that, and they'll wait, and then Gurley, I think, did that. Gurley waited a year. But that was, I think, more for rest. But, nah. So, if this happens, Johnathan Taylor is a great running back. I feel like they're going to give a running back. I don't think it's going to be Mostert. I think it's going to be Wilson for the contract. It could be double Wilsons in this trade. But then you got, of course, Ogba. I would love to keep Ogba. And like I said, I always have to say this because I don't think people fully understand. We don't have control. I know that seems so simple, but it's not at the end of the day because people get so salty. They go, oh, that's bullshit. And they start yelling at you. And they start getting mad, and you kind of start getting mad. It causes a problem. And I don't get final say. You don't get final say. So let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, let's enjoy the ride. I'm cool with our running backs. I think they're great. I think our running back room, as long as they can stay healthy, which they haven't so far, so it's not great. A-Chain's been injured already, kind of like little tiny ones here and there. But I think I'm good with whatever. And if Johnathan Taylor comes in, as long as it's not a first, I don't care. I feel like he's worth a second-round pick. He is. And people can get all salty all they want. He's worth this second-round pick. If they can do it for less, I'll be thrilled. Do a fourth, double Wilson, and maybe Ogba. That sounds great. I feel like they would get 2 offensive players that are decent, above average offensive players, and an above average defensive player. So, and plus that for us, that would clear all the cap space for us to even bring in Johnathan Taylor and even pay Christian Wilkins, because then that gives us cap room to do all that. So, and to be honest, I feel like Greer would do this one if they'll take everybody, because they might not take the contracts. They might go, oh, we'll only take half his contract. You know what I mean? We're not gonna take all that stuff. I didn't realize I was looking up at the camera, so I was probably looking up the whole time. I can just look. That's nice. Sweet. So pretty much, we just need to relax, because if we get them, that's great. If we do the trade and we get rid of all those players and maybe a second round, I feel like we would have enough cap for Wilkins and him to be able, and we can even have them restructure it when we get back. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So I just feel like as fans, let's just chill out. You know what I mean? If we get them, we get them. We don't, we don't. So it's I'm just gonna keep saying that, because that's pretty much just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we don't have a choice. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. He's an all-star player. He'll make a difference, just like Dalvin would have. And I feel like this one will be beneficial for us, because sometimes trading them out instead of cutting them could sometimes get them money, sometimes not. It just depends on their contracts. But I feel like this might be it. Wilson's shown out on preseason pretty well. I mean, he didn't look bad. He didn't look amazing, but he looked better than he did last year. I remember last year he looked awful. But we got Izukama. We got everything's gonna fall into place. I feel like if they do this trade, everything will work out, because we need more money for Wilkins anyway. But if we don't do it, then it's fine, because we can still have those three guys, still get rid of them anytime or trade them anytime in the year, and that's the best. It's a good way. So, but all right, guys, thank you so much. Please follow and like and all that stuff. I'm going to try to keep up. I know that all these guys like Doug, Omar, and even more people are starting to do this podcast style of stuff. So I'm going to try to keep up with them, do it on the day as much as I can. And we'll just see kind of what happens with that. But thank you for watching. And fins up. Bye-bye.